Welcome to Season 2.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Season 2 of Canid Confabulation. Yes, we call it Canid Confabulation now. I actually enjoy the name better. It's much shorter, sweeter, easier to say, because not many people know what Canid is.
Can we just change the name every week?
No, because nobody would know what's going on. You want to confuse the viewers? Is that what you want?
A shot?
No, it's not worth a shot. We're not trolling the audience, Colin.
Oh, darn.
It's not happening. I'm your host, Beretta Darkwolf, with my co-host, Kilroy, McKenna, and we're here to inform you on news and talk about all kinds of different topics that will spark your interest.
Or at least make you laugh.
You know, we're here to, you know, pass the time. If you're doing whatever online, playing games, browsing the web, jerking off, that'd be a little weird. But hey, whatever you want to do.
I've been told that I have a nice voice.
It's very...
I don't know. When I hear it, I think I sound too monotonous.
I don't know.
So
I think you could do podcasts, you know, just talking about shit like The Amazing Atheist does. I always thought you guys were a similar brain. You know what I mean? You guys had a similar kind of brain makeup. So you could do what he does. I mean, granted, he probably wouldn't become as big as he does, but the guy's got more of an internet. He's got more. No, he's got. Don't challenge TJ.
No, he just has more time.
Don't challenge TJ.
And
but
I just don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to present you with a few news articles first to just kind of tell you what's going on in the world, whether it be fucked up or interesting or whatever. And first, I'd like to talk about how Colorado is flooding. A lot of people are missing. And it's sad in a way.
Like all of Colorado? Like the entire state?
No, I don't think so. I actually didn't look too into it. I just know that there's a lot of flooding going on. I'm not sure if there's having heavy rains, but it was like, damn, that sucks. That's the current crisis right now in America, is the flooding in Colorado. And I know I've talked about this on the previous show, but Voyager 1, the satellite/probe we sent out into space, has officially left our galaxy, but I think they assumed it left our galaxy like a year ago. But I think they actually got data back now that actually confirms that it has left our galaxy. And that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it is. It really is. I am very interested in, like, I don't know how long it'll be before that stops sending information. You know, when that comes, it'll be kind of a sad day, but really interesting at the same time, because that thing will be the furthest device that we've sent out into space that's traveled outside our solar system into...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing.
I don't want to watch Star Trek now, though.
Well, I mean, right now it's 11.5 billion miles away. I mean, that's a long way away. Like, it's literally, it has currently left our sun's gravitational pull. It's that far out that it no longer has any influence on it. That's pretty awesome. It is. Apparently, what they're going to do with the satellite now is that they're going to study exotic phenomenons in space that they need more research on, which I don't know. They didn't really elaborate on what that was.
Well, maybe it's not any one specific thing. They just want to gather as much information as they can, no matter what it is.
I think what's really interesting about that, though, is that it can actually send that radio signal still
back.
Yeah, that's a long distance, man. That
takes a while,
distance.
but yeah.
But I guess they're gonna analyze outer space particles at the same time too.
That's cool.
Whatever sensors are on the thing. But that's the same satellite that carries all the data and the where we are in our solar system. And like it has the music in it. Yes, it has the music in it for aliens if they happen, which we'll get to that in the second half of the show. We have a good second half for you guys. We were going to talk about alien contact. Are we ready for alien contact if it happens? So we'll go.
This is great, just because I've been watching so much X-Files.
I know, right? It fits in with everything, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm big on aliens, so I thought the first show we'd start off with aliens. You know what I mean? I think that'd be just ancient aliens, but you know, in general, aliens, man, straight up. But the first article we have for everyone here is United Airlines weighs whether or not to honor accidental $0 fares. So apparently,
United guy done fucked up.
Somebody done goofed. Somebody done goofed because
the consequences are not the same.
They are not the same. Apparently, somebody fucked up, and a bunch of people were able to buy flights. I don't know to where, but they were probably pretty expensive flights, between $300 and $500.
Yeah.
And they got it for $0. And I don't know how. I do not know how you fucked that up. But from what I read here,
well, I mean, it's kind of easy to screw it up. Probably they have like some sort of algorithm, or honestly just input numbers and you accidentally press the wrong button.
It sounds like the algorithm wasn't working and it just kept defaulting to 0.
Yeah. Well, and that's a legit mistake. I feel the company should own up to it though and be like, hey, we messed up.
They did.
You get that,
but that's
free.
A lot of money lost. Think about it. They gotta fuel those planes to get out that way.
Yeah, but I mean,
but according to United Airlines, one of our filings today contained an error which resulted in certain fares displaying as 0. According to the spokeswoman, they have corrected this error, so you can no longer get the flights for 0.
Yeah. No, and then they go on to say, that some of these people, like, the reason why they're questioning on if they want to honor it or not is because some of those people may have paid other fees, attached on. So they already kind of paid, for like the handling fees. Kind of like when you buy something through like Ticketmaster.
What's your opinion on that, though? Do you think you think they should honor it?
Yeah, I think they should.
I think the people knew that it was fucked up when they bought it. So honestly, if they don't honor it, it doesn't bother me in any way.
Well, okay, if they don't honor it, at least
like when you see $0, it's not like that was correct.
Well, some people might honestly think that, hey, maybe this is some sort of special.
I sure hope not.
Well,
I really do.
As much as you want to deny it, there are people who are not too bright out there, and
I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying that there are some, but I really hope that they would understand.
But if they don't honor it, they should at least offer those people some sort of
maybe.
Because one, they have to go through the hassle of reordering, and two, they could have possibly lost money.
I'm not opposed to that, but it's just one of those things where. I feel like most people that went into that knew that they were getting an airline thing. I've seen stuff where that's happened where fees have been lowered and they have mass told, hey, order now, this shit's messed up, go get it now. And it's like, it's not fair to companies. I know companies kind of screw a lot of people and that they try and make as much money as possible, but this is a little...
At the same time, though,
outrageous.
Like, for some of these people, it was something that they needed to book right then to ensure that they had a ticket. I mean, if that's the case where they were also charged those extra fees, there needs to be some sort of discount.
That's true. I guess I could understand that because then they don't know what the true price really was. So if they get an increased price and they say, wow, I actually can't afford that, that wouldn't be fair. But yeah, you're right that they should honor the ones that needed to be out within that week or next week or whenever the air flight left.
No, like I would at least definitely expect them to discount it.
You'd think they'd be understanding.
Yeah.
No,
I would hope so.
I agree with that 100%. So that,
I haven't flown in many a year.
Well, I don't even like flying, honestly. Flying is one of those things that scares me. It makes me nervous. I'm not opposed to it. I will do it if I have to.
When was the last time you flew, though?
2002. I went to Disney World in Florida.
That was over 10 years ago.
Yes, it was. I know. I don't fly often. I'd rather not. I like driving. I would rather drive at 30. It scares the crap out of me.
It's fun.
It's interesting. It's not really fun.
Especially the window seats.
It's boring. No. Dude, I don't like heights.
You get to see all like the little... especially when you go over farming areas and it's like big old tiles just checkered all over the ground.
I know how high I am and it bothers me. Trust me, it's not.
Bring your own parachute.
That would be awkward coming through customs with a freaking parachute. Excuse me, what is that? What is your big bag? Just in case. Sir, please step aside. We need you to do the rectal exam.
Right? What do you got really?
This is my carry-on. My carry-on is my parachute. Why do you need that? I wonder if you could do that, honestly. Could you bring a parachute on a plane? It's not a weapon.
It's not.
It's not a weapon. But, nowadays...
Maybe we'll do that. No, maybe we'll do that for like the second half of the show. Like we'll just go online and look up.
I feel like if I called MKE, if you look that up, I'm gonna be fucking put on a list. I don't want that.
I'll do it.
No, we're not.
I got my phone. I'll fucking do it on my phone later.
We're not doing that.
I'll do it.
You do it on your phone. Yeah, you have one. But I would honestly like to know if the CIA, NSA, whatever is watching. I really just want to know.
Because they really care about a bunch of fur fags talking.
They might.
Silly, drunken nonsense.
You don't know. You have no idea. There's no way for you to
be wrong.
You can't. Yes, you could be wrong, but we don't actually. I don't want to take that. Why would you take that risk? Why would you take that risk?
YOLO.
Wow, you're bringing the douchebag out. Where are your douchebag glasses, dude?
I fucking forgot them at home.
I hate that phrase, YOLO. Oh my god.
No, I do too. I really don't like it. I died a little bit inside.
If you haven't noticed, we no longer have the plants. They really didn't fit in with the.
Those plants were great.
They're hanging out in the.
I know
they're our
really
audience. The plants are now our audience. I know. I don't know what they do. What are they? They're sentient now?
Maybe.
That's kind of creepy, actually. There was actually a sighting show I watched a long time ago that said plants might have language and communication, and it was the most interesting thing I watched.
I mean, in a sense, they do have some sort of communication with their own species, because I thought I remember reading somewhere where, like, let's say there's a fire, a forest fire. They will give off certain, like, pheromones or something like that, where it will essentially allow the other plants to start doing like defensive mechanisms, like for like pines. Like for pines, like the pine cones, they'll close the cones to protect the seeds from the harsh,
environment. Nature is so cool, dude. It's not even funny. Like seriously, it's amazing. It's amazing when you think about all the different things that life does to survive. It's amazing. Really, it is.
Mind blown.
No, but I mean, if you haven't noticed, we replaced the plants with these guys. We have a fox and a wolf. And they are actually. Oh, shut up, dude.
I'm just saying.
I'll admit, he's just cuter, but not more badass.
Not even. Cute can be badass.
Cute can be badass too, but he's more of like a subtle badass. Like
that wolf kind of looks derpy. It's not even badass.
Why? Oh my god, you're so mean. Like I was giving you a compliment, you just shoot me down.
I do.
Like that. Okay, we'll move on. Next article. Let's go forth.
This is stalling.
A lot of people will be happy about this because I know there's a lot of furries out there who make minimum wage. But this is good for everyone. Yeah, I know. And this is good for everyone. It really is. California lawmakers vote to raise minimum wage from $10 an hour or to $10 an hour in 2016. So
by 2016.
By 2016.
Yeah. The way they're doing it is, I believe, like they have an $8 an hour thing there.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Currently.
And then like in the next 2 years it'll be $9, and then after that it'll be 10.
I would hope that the federal minimum wage gets at least increased to 9. It really should be up.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at it everywhere, people don't have enough money for sometimes even basic necessities.
Right.
Like.
And when I got a friend who's looking for like an apartment, and he makes 9, and it's even hard for him to find something to survive off that he can still have fun with. Like you can't just that's why I hate a lot of Republicans when they say like, well, they have food and necessities, but it's like they don't expect them to have fun. I'm like, how can someone live a happy life without having some fun things to do? They need a little extra spending money.
And even further than that, some people can't even afford that, even on minimum wage. Like they
have kids. I know.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I think
absolutely.
I think even on minimum wage, you should be able to support, at the very least, a family of 3, like the 2 parents and a kid, at the very least.
Right.
Comfortably, not just barely scraping by, but I think it should be comfortably. Personally, my opinion, we just need to get rid of money entirely and go in a resource-based economy.
I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because then shit wouldn't hit sense. Shit would
it would, because we have the potential to create enough resources. Why? But
what if I want a nice car?
In a resource-based economy? Hold on. In a resource-based economy,
somebody would buy this for me with something?
No, in the resource-based economy, there isn't any of that. Everyone would be supplied all of their basic necessities. And then further from that, like basically, let's say you want a computer, you go to a center where they build computers and you get your own computer. There doesn't need to be money because...
But how is that paid for it then? What's paid for that with? Like,
why do we need to pay for it?
You're just getting things for free? Isn't that
It's not getting things for free. It's
but who is doing the work?
Shared world. Like
that sounds like
this
communism.
is a global thing. It's not communism, because communism. It might sound like communism, but it's not, because in communism there's plenty of areas that can be improved upon. And
I don't know. I'm not opposed to the monetary money system, so.
It doesn't work though.
If you say so.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if I agree with that. I'm gonna agree to disagree.
Fair enough.
With you on that. I don't know enough about whatever you just said to argue with that, so I'm not going to. But I don't agree with it currently. But
I'll show you later.
Yes, you're right. They say their current rate is $8 an hour to 9. They're going to raise it from 8 to 9 in January of 2014 and to 10 in January of 2016. So it's going to be a gradual thing, which I think is good. They really need to get the bill passed, so they need a lot of Republican votes on that, which is hard. because a lot of the Republicans don't agree with.
Well, I thought it passed one branch and it needs to pass the next.
Still, it has a lot of loopholes to get through, and the federal is for 725, which I don't agree with, because you can barely live off 725 now.
Yeah, no.
Like, they last increased, I think it was 06, something like that, 06 about. I remember it was right when I started working. They had just recently increased it. Probably 06, 07.
Yeah, I think it might have been passed in 06 and enacted in 07. I could be wrong on that.
If they did that, they would. The problem with that, though, is there's a lot of people that then should be increased as well. Because if they increase the minimum, then the people who don't make minimum deserve that bump up as well. But you know that companies aren't going to do that.
Some people do. So
you could argue against that to say that, well, it don't really matter because you're surviving and you don't need all the luxuries. But I think that people who have jobs that pay them well deserve the money that they've worked for. You know what I mean? So they deserve the extra luxuries because everything's getting more expensive. Inflation keeps happening all the time. And that's a scary thought, because when is that bubble going to burst? When is everything just going to fucking... You know, I know you've thought about this before. This is something I worry about.
Well, this is the thing. This is why capitalism doesn't work, because...
It does if it was balanced correctly.
No, it doesn't. Because in capitalism, the goal is to make money. And economy, you're supposed to do things efficiently. Well, efficiency doesn't make you money, because it doesn't work that way.
Well, that's why I'm not.
This is why the system.
Because I would not make a lot of money, because I'd be too generous, right? It comes to that.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, this is why the system doesn't work. So we need to figure out a new way of doing it. But in the process, we need to make things better for now.
That goes with human nature, though. Everybody wants more. Companies want more. People want more raises. Everybody wants more. Yeah, it's just, that's human nature. But you have to be, I guess that you have to kind of have empathy with that. Well, like, I understand that I should make more, but I'm not going to, complain. I don't complain, because I make enough that I can survive and still have fun. Even though I know that there are people that probably, it's just like, it's fine, I understand. I understand at the same time I would like to make more, but I don't care enough to really push that envelope. I'm not gonna...
No, and I understand.
I understand the whole company needs to survive in order for you to survive as well. So I guess that's what it comes down to, for me at least, in the system of the capitalistic system we live in. What?
No,
you're laughing. I just want to know what's funny.
No, I was just thinking, and like again, it just goes back to why I feel capitalism is flawed, because
I know, but I just don't know. You'd have to figure out it'd have to be some equal balance, perfect cycle of like capitalism and communism. It'd have to be some perfect.
Why does there have to be either? I mean, in this system,
I don't know, man. I think in this system, have to be some kind of.
And this is the problem where it lies in, because you need to globalize the world instead of your community essentially being your nation.
That's
you
true.
Need to be community is your world.
But see, the problem is, are people ready to deal with that? Because I think that people need enemies. I think they need. It's a natural condition of the human to need something to dislike.
I don't think it is.
I really do, dude. I don't know if that. I don't know. I feel like that's a natural. Really, I don't know. I don't know if you can cut that out. I don't know if you can stop someone from. That's why we have our borders. That's where there's people that don't think we could become a global world. They think that we will still be separate. And if we do become a global world, then what would happen is, if we move to another planet or something, if we colonize Mars or the moon or whatever, they would be enemies with us in some way, because there'd be issues over money. It wouldn't really...
Well, that's why you go, again, it's all about resources and being resource-based and trading the resources and shifting resources around.
I don't know if there's really going to ever be a perfect...
I'm not saying this is perfect. It's not perfect. It's just one solution to the problems we have today.
I agree that something needs to be changed. I'm not gonna deny that at all, but what it is... it literally has to be something that would least affect everyone, but still change a lot to where I don't know how to describe this. It wouldn't fuck over anyone, and it would be balanced enough where everyone got what they wanted to be happy. But that's so hard to do. You can't make everyone happy. You know what I mean? That's a hard thing to do.
Oh no, yeah. It's probably impossible to make everyone happy,
and you kind of got to
without some sort of drug-related intervention.
You can't drug. They already tried that with MK Ultra. You can't just randomly drug people.
No, you
it
totally
fucks them
can't.
up. No,
You totally can.
No. Okay. I'm gonna go on now. If that's all right with you.
Can we even get more?
This was
chemtrails,
no.
man.
This was no conspiracy theories right now. We can save that for another show. We're gonna go on to the next article on our list here, which is Judge Freeze, Montana bride accused of shoving husband off cliff.
As in Judge Freeze, the action of freeing, not Judge Freeze. Otherwise, he's like Dr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze.
Freeze, like he lets go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah, ha ha ha. You're
no, the way you said it, it's like Judge Freeze.
Oh, sorry, I got it.
Judge Freeze.
Whatever. Judge Freeze. He freeze. He let go. Now everyone knows. Thank you, Pond Kilroy, for derping my shit.
So she got into a fight with her husband of 8 days.
Yeah, they were not married very long. They were only together for a very brief period of time, married. So,
well, that escalated quickly.
Well, you see that there you go. Yeah, apparently. I mean, I guess marriage is one of those things. Like, why does everybody want to get married? All the gay couples want to get married. Do they know what marriage actually really is?
Oh, but they should still have that right to.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. Absolutely.
They should. I agree with it, but
they should know why it sucks just as much as straight couples. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let them have it. All the straight couples want to get divorced, and all the gay couples want to get married. That's what it is right now. But I don't know. Jordan Graham, 22, was arrested Monday on a federal charge of second-degree murder stemming from the July 7th death of her husband of 8 days, Cody Johnson of Kalispell.
8 days.
8 days.
And you murder the guy.
Well, apparently they were on like a cliff, probably on vacation.
Well, they were hiking, yeah. They were hiking through the mountains, and they actually got into an argument about their relationship because she was unsure of marrying him, apparently, in the first place.
Yeah.
So she gets mad and just shoves him off a cliff.
Well, that solved that problem temporarily.
No, it solved it permanently.
Well, it solved it permanently, but it didn't really solve. Like, it kind of made things worse.
Well, yes.
For her. And for him, too.
Suffer the consequences.
Well, yeah. No, she was freed, though. So really she didn't actually.
Well, no, she was let go on bail. Like, the trial's still going to go through and happen and everything. It was just
they let her go on bail then. Okay.
She didn't have to post bail to be released. And she's being monitored via, I think, ankle.
Right. Because she's suicidal now. That's right. She might be suicidal. They had her on watch. I remember that.
Yeah, they have her on suicide watch, talking to a shrink or a therapist.
I really want to find out why she did it. Like, actually, what the argument was about. Then, like, seriously, what were they saying? And yes, I know it was whether or not they were supposed to be married, but you think that'd be pretty. I wonder if it was one of those situations where the guy asked her to marry her in front of everyone, so she had to say yes, even though it was like.
Well, even then,
under pressure. You know what I mean?
Like, it doesn't seem like it was a shotgun wedding. No, I mean, it could have been, but.
Well, it wasn't.
We don't know all the details.
We don't know if it was in Kentucky. I guess. Do you know where this was? Did it say where it was in here?
I don't actually remember.
I don't think.
I would assume Montana because it's a Montana judge.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Montana bride. It did say. Yeah. That's right.
So that is my
middle of nowhere. It wasn't redneck town in Tennessee, but I mean they do have a lot of cliffs up there, so I can understand the impulse to just push him off a cliff. Would she just say, like, hey, walk over there for a minute. Yeah. Let's talk.
I don't know. I think the thing that's going to bite her in the ass is the trying to go back and cover it up and the lies.
Yeah, she tried to hide it. She tried to hide the event and act like he just accidentally fell, but...
Yeah, and they're going to bring that up in court. It's just like,
well, obviously, fucked up. You done goofed. You done goofed. Big time.
And she fucked up good.
Apparently, Graham said Johnson grabbed her arm during the dispute. Graham stated she could have just walked away, but due to anger, she pushed Johnson with both hands in the back, and as a result, he fell face first off the cliff. So, it was a mild dispute that went overboard.
And the fact that his back was to her means she was the aggressor right there.
Right. I know. He didn't expect that. Yeah. I mean, who would? Honestly,
Well, if that were me, I'd be like, whoa.
Never turn your back in an argument. That's everyone
in an argument on a cliff.
Yes, especially on a cliff. In a dangerous situation, never turn your back to your aggressor. Keep that in mind.
You know, like that's
Very important information. The more you know, star flies by.
The more you know.
But seriously,
Because knowledge is power.
you need to make sure whoever you're marrying does not kill you. That is an important life lesson to learn.
So what? When you date people now, are you just kind of like a checklist?
Yes.
Are you crazy? Are you going to kill me? You know, and not to say that women are crazy. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm just saying that's
your
checklist,
soulmate,
right?
Your significant other. Make sure they're not insane.
Are you crazy?
Very important.
Will you push me off a cliff or hiking?
There are different options. Will you push me off a cliff? If she says yes, he or she says yes, please walk away from that.
Get up and walk away.
That is not
now.
worth that risk. It really isn't. Is your life worth that risk? No. It's not.
Do you want to die a horrible, painful death falling off a cliff?
I sure hope not.
Over
Unless
an
you're into
argument.
that. Unless that's your life goal.
I don't know. We're talking to people who probably might be into vor.
There's a lot of stuff. You know what? But I'm not going to knock anyone else's fetish. So
I'm just saying
I'm no one to talk.
I'm just saying.
Not that my fetish is all
I
that
don't
weird,
understand it.
Nobody understands it except for me and other people. But it's not even that weird as far as most people say. But anyway, we're going to move on again. Moving along. I didn't pull this one up quick enough, so now I gotta try and be awkward about clicking.
Oh, the guts.
The guts and the babies.
Guts.
This
guts.
sounds gross, but it's really interesting, actually.
Babies playing with guts.
No, that's not what it is at all.
Oh.
Is this something you saw on DA? I sure hope not.
Guro-chan?
No, please no.
No?
No, absolutely not. I signed up to Reddit the other day. I regret it.
You regret it already?
Because I'm still a 4chaner by heart.
Yeah.
Furries took that site over and all the fucking 4chaners went to Reddit. That's what happened. Furries took the whole 4chan site over and now Redditors, all the old fags went to Reddit. That's where they all went. And John at work told me, well, at least we can mutually agree we all hate 9chan and E-Bombs World. And I'm like, I fucking...
What's, why all the hate for 9chan? Like, I don't know.
9gag, I mean 9gag. Sorry,
okay.
9gag and
I know there was a 9chan.
Yeah, no, I meant no. There's a 7chan and 420chan.
That sounds fun.
I don't even go on any of those. If you love weed that much that you have to go to a website specifically for betards that only smoke weed, that's a little.
Well, no, it's okay. Well, look at you, Mister. I'm on the Tool forums and shit. Like, how is that any different?
Yeah, well, tools. I don't think weed is that. I don't know. And now we're getting into a debate here.
I know, right?
But
some people just like to enjoy sharing their experiences.
That's fine. All right, yeah, I can agree with that. Which is mostly Cheetos and watching.
I ate the biggest bag of chips the other day. Like,
dude, I thought about life, and I realized.
And other people are like, man, I just
alive.
masturbated.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to do. But moving on.
Let's talk about babies and guts.
Babies know living things have guts, which is a weird title to have.
We should probably say might, because I mean, it's not really
not proven. It's just a study that was done. Basically, what they said in the article was that infants, about 8 months in age, they were able to determine that they had a study done where they had these animate objects and inanimate objects that looked the same, but the ones that moved and interacted with their surroundings, when they cut them open, if they were hollow, the babies stared at them more as if they knew that there should have been something living inside. There were supposed to be internal parts.
There should have been something rather than nothing.
They knew that living things have something inside them that keeps them alive. And
maybe not necessarily live, but that allows them to move and interact.
Yeah, and I thought that was really interesting. They did it with stuffed animals too. So the furry creatures, they also did as well, and they
should have stuff inside.
They were more interested in the ones that were hollow that did move than that didn't move.
Does this have stuff inside?
Yes.
Can we open it and find out?
No, because I like him.
What about that one?
No. No.
One of these days.
Why do you want to chop my animals open?
We should do that for a Halloween episode.
No, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Then you pay for it.
Okay.
You buy a fucking stuffed animal, cut it up. That would be stupid. Nobody would want to see. Everyone knows what's inside. If there was random shit inside, let's say stuff in
Let's
candy.
plan random shit in there.
Genius.
You guys didn't hear that.
No one watch episode 1, please.
Right. Just move along to 2.
Just stop right here. If you didn't hear that, strike that from the record.
Just edit that out
and move. All right. Hello, everyone.
We're not starting out.
No, but what the study goes in to say is that maybe that humans actually have a built-in awareness that things that are living have internal parts that help them stay alive, and I think that's really interesting.
It brings up another interesting thing, because like in science they have this thing, I believe it's like tabula rasa, blank slate, that
I've heard that before, but I never heard that meant.
Children infants, when you're born into this world, everything is completely blank. It's like starting completely fresh, and this kind of takes that back and makes us rethink about that, because maybe there are things that we innately know without having to directly learn, or maybe it's not necessarily a no, but an assumption that they hold. That could be it too,
right. It just interests me that the fact that there might be a lot more things, that we don't actually know what we all are predestined to understand before we actually have learned more intricacies about it. Like, there's probably a lot of other things, like almost like just like the schematics based into your genetics that tell you about life itself. Like, that means animals might think the same things as well. Like, they might know that people are living and have living internal organs that...
Well, they could just smell it.
They can smell it.
That's why they eat. The dingo ate your baby because it knew it had guts.
Yes, you're right. Why would you?
I don't know. Maybe that's why they know.
That's true. That's an interesting article. I picked it for a reason. Also because it had babies and guts in the title. So
that right there makes it a winner.
I was like, oh my god, this needs to go on the show.
Baby guts.
But I'm sure all of you heard of the next article on the list, which it happens to be experts say iPhone 5S fingerprint security feature could be hacked.
No, not my fingerprints.
And I'm sure you've all heard about this because it's probably making rounds on the internet. And that's the new iPhone 5S has a fingerprint scanner on it, so it's one of the new security feature that only uses your thumbprint or any other finger to unlock your iPhone.
Yeah, basically in the article they talk about if that is an improvement in security or if it's not. And they have
that scares me in general.
Well, yeah, it is a scary thing, especially with like this NSA reveal and how much they're talking. Do not want. Yeah,
I would never get.
And I agree. I feel that is kind of shady. But further than that, one of the experts was saying that it's actually a step back in security.
That's
because we only have 10 fingers, so there's only 10 possible.
Unless you're weird.
But you could. You could have more if you're some kind of I don't know.
And you got that's my extra security feature,
right? Yeah. This six-fingered man, No, but it's a step back because you only have 10 possible codes to put in, and it's easy. Like, you have fingerprints on that glass now. I can lift them off that glass, print it onto a sheet of paper or something. Print it onto a sheet of paper or something.
He's be like, enemy is still. I gotta burn off my fingerprints now. No, Men in Black.
Yeah.
Go on.
But it's actually almost easier to find the password to someone's device with this because of the limitations.
That is completely understandable. I think it's more of a gimmick than anything. But what scares me the most about it is that someone had said that now it is the most openly wide database of fingerprints that identify all these people. So it can be used. It's just an invasion of privacy.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the worries. Apple says that the data, your fingerprint data, is not uploaded into their cloud system or anything like that. Yeah, I know. They say that, but I'm going to believe them until someone says or shows.
I don't trust that.
No, I don't trust it either. I, in fact, don't even like Apple.
Nobody does, except for hipsters and people that don't know what they're doing.
Hipsters and people with too much money.
We talked about this last time, actually.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. I watched the recent show so I can get prepared for this.
Well,
I did. I'm
lazy.
No, I know. I just want to remember what we talked about last time so I can know. Yeah, that's how we do the show again. So,
it's been so long.
And I know a year and a half. I'm sorry it's been so long. But we got a new studio now, so it makes up for it. And these guys, these are worth every fucking
minute
of the show.
They're cute, so you watch it for
automatically.
You watch it for them, like you're just staring at their hypnotic.
Well, we can all agree that wolves are better than foxes.
No, we can't. That's not true in the least.
But aside from that, okay, you think that it doesn't? It's a scary thing, but you don't think it's actually an improvement.
I don't think. Yeah, no, it's really not.
I think it's unnecessary, honestly. I don't think it's... I think it's stupid. I think it's a gimmick. I think that it's dangerous. I think that having that information out there, not to say that someone's going to commit a crime, but really, do you want, like, the potential that your fingerprints were at that scene of the crime or whatever, that you're pinned to that because they found some information through their Apple network that says that you were there? Like, it's just stuff that.
Well, that's why, like, even on my phone, like, I don't even have
want that risk. I don't need anyone knowing that much information about me.
Well, and that's unfortunately that's part of the society we live in. Like right now, your phone has a GPS. With a lot of people, it's always on. I've turned my GPS off. I don't, want people tracking where I am or anything like that. That's why I don't use things like.
See, that's another thing. Like, I don't want people knowing my identity, but the problem is I put my address on Facebook because I just don't care. I'm like, if somebody wants to come and kill me, what up, dude?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of enemies. Well, the door's not literally open. Wide open, guys. Just come on in. Come on in.
I don't even close the door. It's just wide open.
All my windows are broken and everything. Don't matter. I don't know. I'm not afraid of life. It's just like if I got enemies,
if
like
someone's gonna come kill me, they're gonna come and kill me. A door isn't gonna stop.
No, they'll meet. The problem is I'm up during the night, so they'll meet a baseball bat to the face if they come in my house.
Oh, scary.
Shut up. Oh my god. Dude, if I got a fight to survive...
What if you got like a crazy guy with a sword?
By the way, I just recently watched, I forgot what that... I need to know what the comedian was, but he was like... It was so good, because he was talking... Oh man, I wish I could remember his name now. It wasn't Jim Gaffigan, but it was Brian Posehn. He was talking about, man, the scariest thing would be like if I ever got broken into... I'm not a very, attractive guy. So, like, me naked at night is not a pretty thing. Yeah. And, when I deal with...
he sleeps naked.
Yeah, he sleeps naked. He's like, if someone crawled in my house, how scary would it be? Like, I don't sleep with a gun. I got a fucking sword by my side, a katana. He's like, if someone came to my house, they'd see me running at them, this big, hairy, ugly mug of me, running at them with a katana. That would scare them. But you know what would make it better? Is if I wore a baby mask to bed. They would have to double take. They would see me running at them with a baby head on, all prepared with a katana in my hands, running at them. And you know what? When you're that scared, my dick would shrink up into me, so they'd see a giant dickless baby running at them with a sword. That would fuck them up. No, seriously. That was funny. That was good. I'm glad you knew what I was talking about.
I actually just on Netflix.
A funny guy.
On Netflix, they had like this huge like comedy jam almost, and Patton Oswalt did the MC for it, and it had like Zach Galifianakis and Hussein and a bunch of other people, and it was really good. And that was one of the skits he did.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. But that's it for the first half, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy Joe Somebody with his
some kind of intermission.
Some kind of intermission. No, he's what is it? Strange combos in my mouth. I love his series. He's got it like if you've seen last season, it was literally a series where he just tries different combinations of stuff that you should never try.
Or always try.
He debates whether or not it's good or not. So enjoy. We need to take a break. I'm sure you need to go to the bathroom. You've been holding it for a while.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm not done with this drink.
Well, I'm not either, but now we can drink it after the show. We got some Red Dog as backup, but...
Red Dog!
Please enjoy the intermission. We will see you in 5 minutes? About that time? About that time? See you soon.
I've been lazy throughout this day. I've hardly eaten, and I have somewhere to be in like a few hours. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna snap into a Slim Jim. This week on Strange Combos in My Mouth, Slim Jim and Twinkies, otherwise known as the Slinky. Conan O'Brien, I'm gonna make you proud. Use the long original Slim Jim. May as well go original, you know? Twinkies, come in 2-packs. Wasn't able to get myself a box like I wanted to because I love my damn Twinkies, but you know what? Got 4 of them because I knew the long Slim Jim was gonna need some covering. So I basically just stuck it through there. Obviously, this is not meant to be done with a Twinkie and it basically ripped apart. But you know, we made it work. More like a taco or something. With candy covering it. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a little of the tip left over, and you know, that's alright. You always gotta start with a tip, right? Sexual innuendo! So it's not quite the cleanest thing to eat, but... I got 1 Twinkie left over, so you don't have to deal with the meat and the cream and all that, so what a jumble. No, it's not eating all day. It's pretty damn good. Beefy. Now let's get the rest of it. The overpowering taste of Twinkie is what I got. Mostly Twinkie, because it's a really, really strong cake taste. Well, I already see potential for those who love Twinkies. They really want, Twinkie off the stick. That's what we got here. Only the stick is edible, so that's kind of cool. And you really can't taste the Slim Jim. The only way you're really going to get affected by the meat is by the nutrition of the Slim Jim. So it's like having your protein with your cake. Oh, one flavor. I should film these more often when I don't eat throughout the day, because then I won't really mind what I eat. I think that must be it. Because that is good. Maybe I just love Twinkies. See, in terms of nutrition, 2 cakes is a serving. And by the end of this, I'll have 36% of my total daily diet of sodium. And Twinkies, at least. You seriously can't taste the meat in this thing. I mean, most people add meats to give flavor, some salt, some oomph, if you will, and you really can't get it. It's very slight, if anything. This is not bad. Not bad at all. The sugar and spice really work good here. To me, it's not overpowering. In this case, it's the chocolate's overpowering. I guess that's what I like. But once you recognize the spice of it, it is there. It's an interesting combination. Not bad. I actually think I found a combo of like sweet and meat that actually work together. Mind you, the Slim Jim, I don't know if it really counts as meat, but I guess we gotta check. Well, there's beef and mechanically separated chicken, water, corn syrup, soy protein concentrate, less than 2% of salt, spices, dextrose, paprika extractives. It's I don't know what they put in these things. So I don't know if it counts as meat per se. Get on the science of that. So this is a win in terms of a combo because it didn't turn out horrible. But I don't know if it counts as a sweet and meat combined together. Kit Kats didn't go too well, but this was okay. Again, I think it's preference of taste. But I like meat, so... who am I kidding? I'm just a glutton. Screensaver, no! So after just a really horrible breakfast and this snack, I think I'm good for the rest of the day. We'll see how that goes. Spicy.
Ready? Welcome to the second half of the show, ladies and gentlemen, and furries and furfags. I think they're all furfags, though. I can smell that.
And those who
shitty beer.
hate furries.
We are drinking Red Dog.
I hope you watch this.
Furfags.
Leave hate comments in the crotch
Yeah, please
bar.
leave hate comments. I love hate comments. I just laugh at them.
They make me lol.
Everyone's gonna leave hate comments.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep now.
No, don't, dude.
Oh, no.
Don't cry yourself.
Can we feed the trolls?
What are we feeding them? Red Dog?
Oats.
Oats! Oats gives them strength and power. What is it, mini wheats?
Like
you want
oats?
some mini wheats?
I like oats.
Have some crackling oat bran. And as a kid, I really enjoyed crackling oat bran. I feel like I was a boring ass kid. It's like these big giant squares of like rock hard oats. And my mom ate them, and I liked them for some reason.
I don't know, like when I was a kid, one of my favorites, and still to this day, is Raisin Bran. Like just regular, normal Raisin Bran.
I don't mind Raisin Bran.
Like I do like the Raisin Bran crunch. I don't even have sugar.
I
mean, they kind of already. Well, nowadays I think they add more sugar than there used to be in there. But
I heard they recently got rid of frosted alphabets. They got less sugar in them or something, or they're.
I don't know. They still have frosted Cheerios.
That's
That's good.
Which is the same thing.
I know.
I like the multi-grain,
But they're just O's. They're ooh instead of the alphabet.
which is scary because I like to spell words out like death,
Douche.
and douche,
Fuck.
But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, furries and furfags, and everybody watching the show who's interested in what we have to say. It is
The fact that you're gonna say what we have to say is
second half of the show where we are going to talk about now, are we ready for aliens? Let's say in the near future we discover that an alien spacecraft is on its way to Earth. They have made contact and they're on their way, but we don't know what they said. Do you think we're ready to deal with it, and do you think it is going to be a negative thing or a positive thing? Do you think that aliens would attack us, or do you think that they'd be, friendly?
I really believe that
In your heart of hearts.
my heart of hearts. I don't know if it's a heart of hearts.
It's a cold, barren wasteland of emptiness.
No, I feel some things.
Sometimes. It takes a while. You gotta
this beer
really
makes me feel all warm inside.
It's the only thing that keeps me happy.
No, but I really believe that for a civilization to advance to the point of intergalactic or interstellar or whatever the fuck you want to call it, to be able to travel from another galaxy or
Universe.
or whatever to here,
They'd have to have a good reason.
well, not only a good reason, but I feel that they wouldn't innately be like a warmongering type.
Well, what if they're looking
Society.
for a new place to live?
I feel that we might be able to accommodate them in some fashion. I mean,
Well, Stephen Hawking actually had said.
he believes that they're going to come
no.
here for food.
Stephen Hawking brings up a good point in that he said that if any alien race is coming here, it would end up the same way that, humans when they traveled across, like the Europeans when they came to America, it would be in the same fashion where we viewed the Native Americans as a lower subspecies of human, and that we kind of treated them almost as slaves and like less of a person.
I mean, that's a possibility.
They're more intelligent than
But
us.
again, for them to look at where we are now, I have a feeling. I mean, I could be completely wrong,
Right.
But I have a
all
feeling
hypothetical.
that if something similar, like if we were to do this today, I don't think we would be as we wouldn't be like what happened in the past. We wouldn't try to enslave them. We wouldn't try to harm them. Maybe as much. I'm not saying we're going to go
We'd be
out
racist,
completely.
but not like
Yeah.
slavery type.
I don't think it would be as bad.
I could see that. That's like saying that the more intelligent you get, the more compassionate you become.
You would be.
But that's a great point. I've never actually thought about that in that light before. But I don't know. I just feel that it's one of those unknowns. I mean, I don't really know how I feel in that. Like, I feel like it's a gamble. There could be species that are almost like locusts in a way, like that was in Independence Day, where they're coming here to take our planet and move on to the next.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how they're made up mentally, like how their brains are made
Like I
up.
said, I could be wrong, but this is just maybe my idealism.
That's
being
like
fun.
saying that people and any living organism has a natural occurring empathy and selfishness in themselves, and it all kind of balances, and there's a good variety in the species that all kind of works out. So I can see that too, but we don't really know for a fact, and I guess that's the scary thing, is the not knowing. You don't really know what might come out of an alien species coming here, and that's scary. The unknown is scary for everyone. And I guess where this leads into is like, whether or not they're coming here negatively or positively, would we be ready for that? Do you think the human species as a whole would be ready for contact with an outside intelligence from another galaxy?
It depends on what you mean by ready. I mean, are we ready to defend ourselves if they are hostile?
Either or, yeah. Let's start with hostility first. Do you think we could defend ourselves hostilely?
That's hard to say because, I mean...
I think we're fucked. Honestly. I really do.
Shit, these guys can travel through space! Ah! Yeah,
Seriously,
no,
I think if they've gotten that far and they're coming here for us, we are fucked. hardcore fucked.
You forget though that we are survivors.
That's
by
true.
nature.
But life is survivor. But who's to say that their life isn't better than our life? They might be better survivors.
I don't know.
Than we
Okay,
are.
so like
They're fucking traveling through space, man.
Right. I'm part of this this group on Facebook, and it's like a bunch of sci-fi, fantasy, type of like-minded people. Those are their interests. And someone brought up a really interesting thing on how in pop culture, like movies and science fiction books and comics and stuff. Humans, for the most part, really aren't seen as the aggressors. It's always other creatures being like the almost like super in nature to us. Like they are the stronger, more able races. What if it's the other way around? I mean, the other creatures or alien race or whatever, maybe they figured out a way to do all of this travel. But what if that's all they have? What if we are physically stronger than they are? What if our weapons are better than theirs? They just figured out how to travel here better.
So they're just really intelligent nerds. And they're
Possibly.
weak. They're weak.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Anything
is possible.
It makes sense. I mean, you hear about the gray aliens, whether or not you believe in actual contact happening now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Greys, they're not really a strong race. And there's even debate on whether or not that the Greys could actually be time travelers. They could be us in the future. And I think that's a really interesting theory, because that's been proposed in a lot of alien abduction. Seriously, no, not ancient aliens, but no, that aliens themselves could be time travelers of us from the future, and that's what all UFO sightings actually are.
Another theory I've heard is that a lot of like sightings, I don't know about the abductions, but a lot of sightings, they aren't, basically it's interdimensional travel, and that these other entities aren't even aware of us. They just essentially like pass through this.
Ghosts almost, they're just here.
Like we can see them, but they like either heed no attention to us or
they're
whatever.
there and they have no, it's like the Mothman Prophecies where like, I don't know, that was a great movie, but they have like, they don't really cause disasters, they just kind of observe them and warn you of the future almost. They have no reason to.
Well, I'm not even saying that. Like, it's just, they pass on through.
Right,
they're just there.
Don't care
what happens. They're
just there.
And that's just one theory. I personally.
So that's
really
if
know.
It was a negative impact. I personally don't think we're ready. I believe that if someone was here to take this planet, they will take it. We are not prepared enough. We do not have the intelligence and or, arms to fend off some kind of,
Possibly though, but at the same time, we have home field advantage.
You sound like a sports fan going, we got home field advantage, man.
No, but in a situation like this,
maybe.
I
guess we understand all that
because we know all the nooks and crannies. We know all.
Could be like War of the Worlds, where they're not immune to our bacteria. But I like that ending actually. I don't care what anyone says. I thought that was a cool fucking. But you think
I like the radio play more than the movie.
Oh, you mean the
the
original back in the 20s or whatever, where the guy fucking did the thing and then everyone freaked out and
mass panic.
Mass panic's always good.
Always
for looters. It's always good for people that want free stuff,
But they're panicking too, so it's more of a survival thing.
Yeah, but what are they gonna do with a big screen TV? Nothing. Especially if aliens are invading. It's not your television's gonna be on the air anymore.
How do you know?
But let's say they're docile, humble. Let's say they're compassionate and they're just here to share. They feel we are ready for the secrets of the universe and all that information, which we're totally not.
Actually, that's really interesting. I think I don't know if we're ready, but I feel it would be the right thing to do. Maybe
them coming here would be the right thing to do.
Yeah. If they were peaceful and if they wanted to either share knowledge or help us along, I think that would be a good thing, even if we aren't completely prepared for it. Because we are humans, we will learn to adapt to it,
I guess what I'm trying to say is, you can say that it's the right thing to do, but like, are we ready for that? Are we ready for all that information they will give us? Do you think we'll be able to understand it? Do you think that people as a whole would be able to accept, like, we're still racist. No one loves or can understand the differences of a culture in another country. You know what I mean? Like, we have wars. We're still warring among ourselves. How can we accept an alien race as part of,
Well, I mean, it's hard to deny it then.
Well, it is. It is, but
that's
you
the
think,
thing.
you think we're ready to accept that into our lives?
Well,
like, it might be the right thing to do.
Maybe that's what we need.
Well, and that's a good point, too, because, what was it? Who was the president who said that? That was Ronald Reagan said that we would come together if we came across a crisis that involved, an outside intelligence from another galaxy. If they were to come here and pose a threat to us, that we would band together, as a species, as a planet. You know what I mean? But I don't know if they were humble, if we would be able to deal with that. I feel like there are too many dumb people that are too selfish and too self-centered to truly
just go, you know what? I like your ideas, but fuck you.
Seriously,
yeah.
I don't know.
I could see that. But
I think that as a percentage-wise, situation, maybe 60% of us could deal with it. But I think there'd be that 40% that would fuck it up for everyone else, and that's not even a joke. There are a lot of people that would not want any part of that because it would conflict with their ideals. I mean, you know how many Christians still exist that are, not just casual Christians. I mean, extremist, crazy fucks that, would do anything for their beliefs.
Well, okay, it's interesting that you bring that up. For them, it could be good for them, because then they need to reflect on their religion and what it means.
Would they? Would they be smart enough or cared enough to do that? People aren't selfish when it comes to that.
Well, at that point,
if they're dumb.
Okay. If they are as devout as they want to be, they're going to look to the church for answers.
How do you explain that? How do you explain an alien species?
Well, for that, it would bring up a lot of questions. And I don't want to completely shift this to religion, but it would be they would have to think okay, well, our Bible says that Jesus died for our sins. Now, did Jesus die for just us on this planet? Were there multiple, Jesuses for other planets that may contain life? Did he die for everyone's sins? Just here, and I feel for them, it could be their way of trying to spread their beliefs. Not that I agree with that, but I feel it would be really interesting, and I almost want to see it, but at the same time, I think it would be terrible.
People are too afraid of change, though. I think that's part of the problem. Is change is a scary thing for so many people. So to have to share your existence with another species, a creature that thinks completely different than you do. I don't know if we're ready, and honestly, I believe if there are aliens and they're watching us or coming here right now, they have chosen not to interact with us because they do not think we are ready. Okay. I mean, look at the wars we're still having. Well, I don't know.
If we want to go along those lines, well, clearly there has been some contact. If there are so many, if there are so many abduction stories and everything else. I'm a skeptic, so I'm still kind of.
But they still keep it there's no proof. There's no hour. Nobody really believes that they're just they're making contact, but only with certain groups, only with the ones that they know would either understand or it wouldn't matter. If anything, we could be a science experiment for them. We don't really know. Nobody really knows if alien abductions exist. Are we just experiments? Are we just animals? Are we just tagging and letting off into the wild again? Are we literally just something they're tracking?
It's funny though. It just reminds me of that article I mentioned earlier about how scientists are going to conduct the experiment to see if reality is essentially real. See if this is actually reality or if this is just computer simulation.
That's a different. Honestly, that's a great topic, but that's totally a topic.
I know.
You can't even handle that right now. It's a really interesting subject.
We're test tube. We're a science experiment. No, that's interesting.
It is.
I mean, it would be similar to how we go and capture deer and tag deer and not even just deer, but many animals out there.
I read a book just recently, actually, the first book I read since high school, because I recently got a library.
You need to read more.
I renewed my library card for the first time in 7 years. I know, right? No, but I went there and I'm a fan of Bud Hopkins, and he had a book called Missing Time, and it's the whole book delves into alien abduction, and it starts off really vanilla, easy. Someone saw it, had missing time, they don't understand why. no real backstory behind it because the person never went into, you know, hypnosis. And some people disagree with hypnosis. They don't agree that it actually solves anything. But there's a lot of interesting things that come out of it. Like, these people are remembering things that, like, a skeptic would say that these are implanted ideas. But if you actually read through the book, they don't suggest anything. They just ask questions that aren't really, they're open-ended. And these people create these ideas without assuming it's an alien abduction that lead into that topic. You know what I mean? Like, it's really interesting because it's actually a scientific way of analyzing this, and you can say that maybe regressive hypnosis isn't true science or whatever. That's fine.
Well, you say that they ask questions that are open-ended, and that leaves a lot for the imagination. So
True, but why does it always lead into the same thing? That's what I'm wondering. It's so interesting.
Human memory is a very fragile thing. Like, let's say, and they've done experiments. Well, no, they've done experiments on this, where, like, they'll have one person who remembers a certain event, and let's say that event is completely factual. They've done studies where enough people that this person trusts say, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. And their memory will actually change and alter to fit everyone else's idea.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying that the people that went into this, that the hypnotherapist or whatever, is implanting these ideas in their mind. But if you actually read through the actual, like, the log from the hypnotherapist, it doesn't do that at all. These people come here not believing that from the beginning. They just want to know why they had this experience of time. Like, there was a guy driving in the country, saw something in the sky, and then all of a sudden wound up on the side of the road and didn't know why. And he was so conflicted, having dreams and things, and he didn't know what it meant. He went to someone that would do this session, and then Bud Hopkins heard about it and came over and decided to interview and, you know, record all this and document this at the same time because he knew what was going on, but they didn't. And a lot of the people won't even be identified because they don't want it. Some people did, some people wouldn't. Mm-hmm. And they some of these abductions actually were benevolent. They weren't even negative in any way. It's actually what they said in a lot of abductions is, depending on how you reacted, the aliens were either, like, negative towards you if you acted negatively towards them. So there was a girl who was abducted as a child, and they were almost like friends. They mutually understood why they were taking her, and like, it was just like an information exchange. Like, they'd ask her questions like, why do you do this? And she'd answer. And then they were still like old friends, and she was abducted, I think, 2 more times since childhood, like in adulthood and then later adulthood. And it's a really interesting book. It really is. It really is. I was gonna read the second one, but I never got around to it. And it deals with abductions at another specific location. But alien stuff really interests me. I'm
clearly
big fucking paranormal sci-fi UFO nerd.
And I'm a skeptic.
You're a skeptic, which is fine. But you're a big guy in conspiracy stuff, so.
Well,
I'm big on alien
I still
stuff.
stay skeptical.
You stay grounded. That's good. It's always good to stay grounded. But I mean, it just really interests me, and I'm like the Fox Mulder of this. I want to believe.
Well, no, maybe that's what it is for me. Like, I stay skeptical, but I want more definitive proof.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would say I'm less skeptical than you are, because I see a lot of evidence that points me to say, damn, that seems kind of factual, but I'm still gonna.
Yeah, for me, it's like it's just like, that looks fishy. I need to know more about it.
But you never find enough proof to make you believe.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Absolutely. But
that want is there. Be like, that'd be really fucking cool.
That's what I say. Absolutely. I mean, that would change our whole world and the way we think about it. The funny thing is, though, is like in this Are We Ready for Aliens? The reason I watched this is because I actually watched the Vsauce thing on Are We Ready for Aliens, and I wanted to talk about it.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
But I learned from what he had said.
This.
No, he had said that no government has officially, in quotes, has adopted a post-detection policy. So they haven't officially adopted one because nobody wants to scare, which makes you think that if they weren't around, we would have created something. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're trying to keep something under wraps because they haven't officially.
It's possible.
Why wouldn't they just do it anyway? You know what I mean? Like, it's like they're so afraid to admit that something's going on that it's just like with Project Blue Book.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they tried to debunk everything because they wanted to not cause mass panic, but at the same time, there were so many unexplainable cases that they just ignored all them, even though...
Well, actually, it's really funny. I had just watched on Netflix, I forget the name of the document, but they go back and they review all the different projects that led up to Blue Book, and there was this recurring theme where anything that they could not explain, they just immediately said, "Oh no, you guys are crazy," stuff like that. And a lot of it is just misinformation and misdirection, and that's something like a lot of people don't want to admit it, but that's something our government is really good at. We may not be good at keeping secrets, but we're great at the misinformation and misdirection.
Absolutely. No, I mean, that's...
And that was the point. Well, that was the point they brought up. Like, everyone is just like, well, you have the deniers who are like, well, how could they keep something like this secret? And these, this documentary was just like, well, they're not, because it is getting out. People do know about it.
But they debunk it. They make fun of it. It turns into a mockery.
Yeah,
that's why the news media has a serious take on it. Nobody wants to actually talk about it anymore.
But I find stuff like that fascinating.
You got a sighting,
like the back and forth.
You've got a sighting. I mean, there's so much misinformation and actual facts that might be thrown in there that no one really knows what's true anymore, and that's what the government loves, because nobody really knows. Just recently, they just finally admitted that Area 51 exists when everyone knew it existed for the last fucking 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. They just finally admitted. Like, President Bill Clinton was acknowledged Area 51, but they still never admitted it. I think just recently, CIA admitted that it was real. Like, I think it was the CIA. I don't remember who it was, but somebody admitted it was real, like, within the past year. And I'm like, well, okay, fine.
Yes,
like, everybody knew it was
place.
there. Yeah, but they act like it didn't exist for the longest.
Nothing happens here.
No, I mean, come on. You've got so many people that are acknowledging this, and you've got a highway entitled the Extraterrestrial Highway in Nevada. Like, are you serious? Like, how can you not admit...
Well, that was more of, the Roswell thing and just everyone...
No, Roswell's in New Mexico, though. No, seriously. I mean, this was based around Area 51.
Still, it's just the area, that entire area.
The desert, I know.
To do with
There's been a lot of strange stuff out there. But it's just... It's an interesting thing that, they chose for so long to deny it. It's obviously they're hiding something. I mean, you got a Roswell crash that happened in 1947 where something happened. They admitted it was they said it was a UFO, and then they changed their minds and said no, it's actually a down weather balloon, and it had to be something secret because they covered that up. There was a cover up there.
Okay, well here, and this is just I guess semantics and everything. It was originally a UFO because they didn't know what it was. And I'm not saying this is real, but they could have then later identified it and been like, oh, hey, this is a weather balloon. So then they have identified it, thus it no longer being.
Yeah, but you got different things.
I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying
I know.
Because of the language and semantics and what UFO actually stands for, this could be a thing. I still think it's kind of up in the air.
Mild change of direction, but I want to get this out. Did I tell you about the sighting I saw actually when I was up in Saint Germain this past summer? I didn't explain.
I think maybe briefly.
I was up north and we were outside and I was looking at the stars, which is something I've always wanted to do, mostly because I wanted to see if I could see something, and I totally did. Because it is so dark.
You feel you did.
I saw something. No, seriously.
No, go on. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun, but
let's start at the beginning though, because I want to explain my. You've never seen a UFO ever? Never seen something you can explain in the sky?
Things that maybe were odd. I just don't know enough about it, or I haven't seen enough, or whatever. But
okay. Well, when I was younger, what got me into all this, I was never a kid to ever I had no interest. I was probably 6 or 5 years old. I remember we used to go to these fireworks at my mother's ex-high school, her old high school, and they'd shoot them off, 4th of July. So we all would go from my grandmother's house out to this high school and set up, little base, blanket on the ground, whatever. And it started getting around dusk time, the sun's setting. Yeah. It's probably 30 minutes before fireworks start, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm a kid, all excited for the fireworks.
Fireworks!
No, seriously.
Explosions!
6-year-old kid. I'll remember this forever because I'm sitting there on this blanket. And I remember just waiting for it to start. I still remember the sunset. You know what I mean? The whole nightscape. This happened more than 18 years ago, and I still remember it almost like it was yesterday. And I remember we were all sitting there, and my dad looks up and goes, "Whoa, look at that!" And I'm just like, "What?" Because my dad's freaking out about something in the sky. And he goes, "That star was just sitting at the end of the Big Dipper, like steadily sitting there, and it just started moving." And I'm like, "Oh." And I look up because he seemed so shocked. I guess it must have like instilled like a fear in me that something was wrong. And he's like, "That's so weird. It was just sitting there and it just started moving. What if it's a UFO?" And then everyone starts talking and joking. It's like, "Yeah, babe, it's a UFO. Ha ha ha, Andy, that's funny." And everyone kind of moves on.
Yeah.
But I just watched this thing move across the sky and go over the tree line into the horizon and disappear. The whole time throughout the entire fireworks show, I felt sick to my stomach. I didn't know what that was. I was scared out of my mind. I remember I felt like I had to throw up on the way home. It like instilled such a fear into me. And I guess that goes to my personality that like I have to solve my issues right away.
For a lot of people, it's just fear of the unknown. They're afraid because they don't know.
What's unknown to me, I have to figure out. What I'm afraid of, I try and challenge and know more about it because I feel like it makes me stronger if I figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how I live my life. And I guess that made me so interested in UFOs and all that stuff. But I remember seeing this, and then from then on out, I was a kid who started a UFO fucking club in like 7th or 8th grade. Or I mean, not 7th grade, but I mean that's when I was 7, 8, or 9, around that age group when I lived at Hayes in West Dallas. But ever since then, I've had I was intrigued with UFOs, aliens, and abductions and all that stuff because it was really interesting to me. And I guess this leads up now to a similar sighting when I was in Saint Germain. We were there, and I was looking at the stars, and up north, it's the clearest sky, man. You can see everything. It is.
You don't have the light pollution.
Exactly.
There's no cities.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So I'm up north, and I'm looking at the stars, and we're probably outside for maybe 30, 40 minutes. And all of a sudden, I look off towards the East Coast, more northeast area of the sky, and I just see a light kind of traveling, and I assume it's a satellite. But what's really interesting is as it's traveling across the sky, it changes direction and then disappears. That was cool. And I did this. This happened literally a month ago, and I'm like, that was the first real actual UFO that I can confirm I saw. That was the most interesting thing, and that's why I always wanted to watch the skies, just in case I'd see something like that. And I totally did.
Why haven't you invested in like a telescope yet or something?
I don't know, because it's a lot of money, and like it's the same reason I haven't invested in the amazing stereo system, because I care more about cars than I do about other interests. Like
cars are lame.
Cars come first. Once I get my car, my dreams will happen. I will totally invest in everything that I really want. Like it's priorities first. House is last, even though I want a house, because I've got till I'm 30 before I get that, but. It just comes down to like all this stuff is interesting me, and like
everything's set up.
No, I got a plan, dude. I got a plan. I've always had
a big plan.
Always had a plan. Plan's always in mind. But you've never seen anything weird in the sky like that ever?
I mean, somewhat similar. I remember
because I know what a satellite looks like. That was higher. That was as high as a satellite, but it didn't blink and it disappeared, which made it the most interesting thing.
Yeah. No, for me it was I was maybe elementary school, like later, so maybe 5th or 6th grade. And I was just kind of like, I was doing something. I think there was like this, like a corner store up the street from my house. And I think I was going there for like some candy bars or some shit. I can't remember exactly what I was doing.
Wasn't Skittles.
But I remember, I don't know, could have been. But I remember walking up the street. Right? No, I'm sorry. I was not, what was it, Skittles and a Snapple or some shit? That was terrible. Why did you bring that up?
Because I tried to be funny. It was so bad taste humor.
Yeah. Anyways, and I remember it was evening, like dusk, sun was setting.
It's always dusk, huh?
Yeah, right, always. No, but like, and I only remember this because like the oranges in the sky and everything.
I know. Prominent.
And I mean, I guess it was somewhat similar. Like I saw.
How old were you?
Like I said, 5th or 6th grade.
So it was all right, yeah, 12.
Yeah, number of years ago.
11 or 12.
And I remember looking up, and like you got a row of houses on the left because I was walking south on one of the ends of the street, and they got a bunch of trees on one side, but like plenty of space overhead. And I'm looking, and I see something. Like at first, I thought it was like a bird, like way up high in the sky, because sun was reflecting off of it, and I thought it was like maybe a seagull. I mean, they're fairly common. It was summer.
We were close to the lake, so yeah, it makes sense.
just because it was like kind of like a shiny little white. And I remember looking, and it was like coming, not like towards me in particular, kind of like coming where it should have gone overhead. And then like I kind of like didn't think about it, so I look down. I'm walking. I look up again, and it's like it's still there. It stopped.
It's stationary now.
Yeah, and then it moved one way, came back. Kind of like moved off to my right. It had not yet gone over the trees or like through the trees, so I can still see it. And then it switched direction again, came back this way, and then just like you said, just kind of disappeared.
What do you make of that?
I don't know. Well, and that's the thing. Like maybe
so long ago, maybe you can't rationalize whether or not that actually
whether I just can't rationalize it, or like I said, because memory is a fragile thing. Maybe I'm remembering the details wrong, which is a possibility. I don't think I am, because no one was there to influence what I saw. And it was just like a very interesting kind of thing. I was like, that you don't see that, kind of like that. But so I guess in the literal sense, it is a UFO, because I don't know what it was.
Exactly. That's all UFO means. I got a flying object. People just automatically assume alien.
And like, I mean, I don't know. It was weird. So for a while, I just like it was probably a bird, and then the more I thought about it, I'm like, birds they don't just stop in midair. And like, and the other thing, like, and the thing that I think was more interesting was like, it was all very like a perfect straight line as it's traveling, and then when it stopped, or I noticed it stopped, it was like a perfect 90-degree angle over the side, and another 90-degree angle as it
See, I can't say for certain that when I was younger what I saw was even a UFO. It just influenced me so much into the subject that like that's what set me off. But I know I've seen plenty of strange things. Like on the way to FCN actually. Probably in, I think it was 2009, me and Corey and Sarah and Ernick were all driving there, and we were on the highway just at Enter Michigan. It was a really weird night. We were actually listening to Coast to Coast, as funny as that sounds, but Coast to Coast AM is a great station to talk about, alien, paranormal stuff, but
sometimes.
Seriously, it is good though. I mean, granted, there's a lot of crackpots and crazy people on there, but that's also interesting too, because you hear the craziness.
It's entertaining. At the very least,
right?
Like I heard someone calling about unicorns in this guy's backyard.
There's a unicorn episode. I've heard that before. But we're on the interstate. We just hit 94 into Michigan, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we see this big, giant, pulsing green light, like going across the sky, and it's literally lighting up the clouds like a lightning bolt.
Ball lightning, maybe?
No, this was straight up an object, and I'm thinking like it's not a plane. Planes don't do that. And this, like, I thought it was a radio tower at first. I'm thinking like this is a radio tower, but it crossed the highway, and Corey tried to record it, but the camera battery died. All UFO thing camera dies. Right?
Shit, camera. No, but I mean, ball lightning has been known to travel.
Trust me, I've seen ball lightning before. It's not the same. Okay. This illuminated the clouds. It crossed the highway, and it was green. And this thing was the creepiest thing I saw. And I wanted to pull over, but we're driving 70 miles an hour on an interstate, and it's like I'm not gonna stop here right now in the middle of like midwinter, almost spring. No, not on the highway. Not 75-mile-an-hour highway. No way. And I should have. To this day, I regret not doing it, but it didn't matter because the camera fucking died anyway. But there's a really
don't
brief
you guys
clip.
have phones? Like
not back then. No one had no. Corey had a stupid phone. I had a stupid phone. We all had
you can try taking pictures. At least those things have pictures.
Oh my god, it would be grainy and like 320 by 240 resolution. Like, are you serious?
I would have thought about it. I've been like, shit.
It wouldn't matter. What is
pull out my old ass.
I can take a picture of a light in a corner of a room and say it's a UFO. No one's gonna believe that. We got a brief clip of it. It's actually in the video. It's actually in my comedy, but it's so brief. It barely happens. I just put it in there just to put it in there, but it was so weird. And to this day, I don't know what it was, and I really like to know because we were talking about, is it a Zeppelin? Is it a blimp? Like, we don't know, but it was literally like 11 p.m. So something that was doing that wouldn't have been out there, like, because it wasn't a plane. It was one solid light that was blinking, but it was so weird. The blinking factor didn't want me to, associate, because most man-made objects blink for a reason. Yeah. So I assume that it is terrestrial, not extraterrestrial, but...
Well, but then, I mean, like I said, ball lightning seems fairly... I've
seen
heard it,
ball lightning, though.
I guess, but I've heard, like, sailors and stuff see events similar where like the lightning or whatever is actually green, and I don't know, maybe it's something in the air or whatever
weird,
else.
Though. That's all I can say, man. It's the weirdest thing I've seen, but I associate it because it blinked.
Yeah,
it seemed terrestrial.
That does seem...
It had to be terrestrial. That's the only. But it was so weird though. It was just so out of place for the time, especially since we were listening to Coast to Coast. Added to the creep factor and everything.
Yeah.
And it started snowing randomly and then stopped. It was like snowing for only 20 minutes and then disappeared. And it was like just really...
Okay, well, that just happens.
Weather.
Like,
it was just a creepy night, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, hell,
added to the...
3 weeks ago, something like that, I was over at my friend's house, and it was really funny because we're sitting on his porch, and we looked to our left, and on that... No, it was some of the guys I play D&D with. We went over to his house for some food.
Nerd stuff.
Yeah, right? Oh, fucking nerds. Yeah, you play your D&D. Nerds. Right? But, like, we look over to the left, and, like, we see the clouds, and he's like, oh, man, it's gonna rain. We kind of really need the rain, blah, blah, blah.
Rain.
And all of a sudden, we look to the right, the sun, like, breaking through the clouds, and it's bright and sunny. And he's just, like, all grumpy. He's like, well, we need the rain, and blah, 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 my garden, and, you know, stuff like that. And then, like, maybe 5-10 minutes later, we look again, and on the right side, like, pouring on the right side. We look over to the left, nothing, dry.
God said, fuck like, that shit.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
It's just really funny.
Well, that was like when we got back from FCN, actually. Or not FCN, but IFC. It was pouring rain only across College Avenue.
Yeah, just that one street.
No, it was really weird. That was cool. But I mean, I don't know. Shit like that
does that. So.
Interesting things for people with simple human minds. You know, it's really easy stuff, but it's entertaining for us, at least.
I don't know.
But that goes back to the the idea that there's potential life out there that might be coming to visit us. That's really interesting to me. And whether or not it's happening or not, I love the mystery. The mystery makes everything better. So honestly, do you want it to be solved then, in a way? Like, is it more fun to be a mystery? Does it make your life more interesting, knowing that is a possibility?
I feel that if it were known and if it were true, that would open up many more possibilities and be much more interesting. Because at that point, there's so much to learn, and you'd be able to trade different aspects of your cultures and everything else. So I think that would honestly be more interesting than, you know, the current, I guess, almost like a mythos around it. And
I just think I think the mystery is a lot of the fun, and I think that, you know, I mean, granted, there'd be other mysteries that you would have to solve, like whether it be life after death or
the pyramids,
ghosts.
Yeah.
Pyramids are made by aliens. Didn't you watch Ancient Aliens, dude? Seriously?
I don't care how much people make fun of that show. I thought it was cool.
It brings up cool, interesting points. Whether or not they're disproven, there's no actual factual evidence leading either way. I think it's just like counter evidence with evidence, and no one's truthfully like really sure. No one actually knows for sure. Yeah. It's just whatever you believe, and I guess that's what makes it really interesting.
I just like Joji Tsoukalos.
Well, he's... Granted, the more crazier it gets, the hair gets bigger. You know, the show started out. I still think
last year around this time, my hair was like the perfect length to do that for Halloween, and
You're not tan enough, dude. Though
I could have fucking got like the
spray tan.
Yeah, tan in a can. I would have
be hilarious.
Done that.
Actually, you should have done that.
I think it would have been great.
Dude, seriously, don't ever let Robert cut your hair again. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, no. I mean, you straighten it, but seriously. That was not a good look for you. It wasn't a bad haircut, but it wasn't a good look for you. It was like...
It was only for a while.
I know, I just remember that. I was like, you straightened your hair and like made it buzzed, but stopped. Like, it was like almost military style. I'm like, you do not fit that haircut, dude.
I hate to disappoint you. Actually, when I was real little, no, it was always a flat top.
Really?
Yeah, always.
Really?
Always. I don't know why. I don't know. Looking back on it, it was stupid. I looked like a bit like, because of my jawline and everything, I looked like I had a cube for a head. It was terrible.
I cut my hair in such a shitty way once that it was almost bowl cut for a while. I regret that ever since then.
Now I just let my hair go wild.
Yeah, well, I tried the long hair, but I really don't think it's me. It looks cool. Good. It's cool, but not...
I think it looks good.
Super long down to my shoulders?
Yeah, no, I think that looks good.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think where it's at right now is about where I want to keep it, and I'm gonna get it cut in probably end of October. probably middle end of October, somewhere around then, right before MFF. I'll get it short again. I enjoy my short hair.
Maybe not short. Like I'd say,
no,
just get it
because
trimmed.
if I do that, then I gotta maintain it, and I hate that. I like having it short for a while. You get
short
it
and then long, and then short.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
long.
Because you spend less money on haircuts. That's just how I operate. It's
I
like
guess.
it's like a financial budget thing, and I like both styles. So, but then maybe I want to grow my hair out long. But there's girls out there that like my hair short. So,
But there's also ones out there who like it long.
but I want the girls who like it short.
Oh my god.
Don't in case they're watching this.
What are you trying?
No, they're not watching. But it's quiet.
Are you trying to mac on
No.
your viewers now? That's
Quiet.
creepy.
There's
You're a
one
weirdo.
girl I really like.
You're a weirdo. What? Carmen Sandiego?
Carmen. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
I don't know.
Probably abducted.
Draw her out with
Probably
your
abducted by
Fabio hair. Well, no, you like it short, so it wouldn't be like Fabio.
Wait,
at
I'm
all.
slicking it back. Hang on.
So you're a greaser now?
Yeah.
That looks bad. I'm sorry.
Seriously?
When it's all like straight back like that, no, it doesn't look good on you. I'm sorry.
Why?
Okay.
Yours is
If
straight
I
back.
shut up, there's not going to be much of a show.
That's true. I would just be here talking to myself, and that'd be boring as fuck. I could do that. I do that by myself.
You'd be talking to yourself with some creepy hairy guy staring at you while you do it.
Well, let's do that right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk to myself right now, and there's a creepy hairy guy staring at me. That's a nice beard you've got there. We are drinking Red Dog. There's a fox and a wolf and a microphone, and you are stroking your beard, and that makes this all the better. And now he's stroking my tiny beard, which is barely a beard. It's just like a goatee. So, you sip that. You sip that well with your lips. Oh, you made noise. Now it's ruined. Now you start talking again. You made noise. No, fuck it.
No, you told me to talk again, but I didn't say I was going to be silent. I just wasn't going to talk.
Well, why fuck it? Who cares?
But now you made me ruin it by talking.
Talking, so it's okay. You explained why I was wrong, so it's okay.
I know.
We understand. The fox has to prove the wolf wrong because he wants to feel better about himself. That's how it works.
Yes, I'm so wounded inside that I need
I
to
didn't
prove-
say that.
That's what you're
He's
insinuating.
just a smaller animal. He's a smaller. As foxes can be tough, but they're just they don't have their buddies. They need buddies.
We don't need buddies.
We got our
It's like the
bros.
wolf.
We got our bros.
The wolves are like, man, I feel so alone. I need
wait a
friends.
minute.
And the fox
Wait,
is like,
it's time-
friends, fuck that shit.
Time the fuck out. We were talking about UFOs, and now we're talking about goddamn.
Brought it up.
You're right. Absolutely.
And you always want to talk about foxes. What's up with that?
I do like foxes. No,
See?
no lie.
Yeah.
I'm friends with a fox. I mean, come on. I mean, Canid's got to stick together, so it's one of those. It's like untalked about, like underlying things. Like
Yeah.
if a war happened between canines and felines, or any species really.
The fox would be like, fuck you guys.
Oh my god, but see, foxes are like half cat, half fucking canine, which makes you weird. You guys can have that fucking night vision bullshit with your eyes. Get out of here with that, Mr. Red Face.
You're funny.
You're still Canid this.
No, it's Red Dog, not Red Face.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
I feel like we should talk to Red Dog about getting, like,
Well, I mean,
dividends.
they don't, no, seriously,
Like
because
product placement
nobody
or some
drinks
shit.
this. Nobody drinks this, except for
so
me.
are we nobody?
No, we're good people.
Oh.
Who are furries, but
Whatever, it's cheap.
it's got a
ass
fucking bulldog on it who's red.
At least it's made here in Milwaukee.
I think it's better than other piss water.
Yeah, no, it actually.
I enjoy
it
Red Dog.
is.
I really
No,
do. I
it's not
think
that bad.
Red Dog is pretty decent for
know what?
being
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
$13 for a 30-pack.
I'm not gonna lie. Better than PBR.
Absolutely.
Better than PBR.
Absolutely.
But still not the best or even good, but better than PBR.
I think we've made it past the alien thing now, I think.
I know, we've gone so off.
But I mean,
fucking
I guess that's what it comes down to. I like the... No, it's good, though. We led up into this and we kind of mellowed it out, and now we're back at the beginning again, but...
Final judgment. Are we ready for aliens?
Yeah, Final Judgment. I like that. Final Judgment. What do you think? Yes? No? Maybe?
I'm gonna say yes. And you're gonna say no. So the
I'm gonna
jury's
say
out,
no.
right? No.
I say maybe.
Maybe.
Unknown.
Depending on the situation.
Depending on the situation and if the stupid people who aren't ready for aliens can accept it.
Fair enough.
I think the majority might overrule it, so I say mildly yes, but I still say maybe because there is that possibility that.
So we're still more towards the positive than the negative.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, I'd say possibly,
Sure.
but maybe it's still a maybe range because there's that reasonable doubt with it.
I hope it happens in my lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Either one way or the other. Like we can confirm or deny. You know, up to
I would
this
love
point.
to see that.
That would be really
I would
interesting.
love to see that, truthfully, but I don't think it ever will.
Yeah, there was that White House petition, you know, where
I know they wanted disclosure.
Yeah.
I know all about that. Yeah,
I thought
but
that
it
was
won't happen.
funny,
It won't happen.
and it took them forever to even respond to it.
Because they didn't want to. There's probably all kinds of documents that are still like within the reasonable, like they can't release them until 30 years.
But at the same time, though, like they say no, but it's like, then why do you have all of these projects involving all about this shit?
See,
like,
that's why they talk about. I think it was Project Mogul was a top secret weather balloon project, which they're referring to. That's what the Roswell crash actually was. But there's so many other stories.
well, one of the more recent, and I think they may have talked about it in the past, but it's either being brought up again or maybe it is brand new. But they're saying that the incident in Roswell could have been what they believe was a Russian spy craft. Actually,
It's possible too, and that's why.
and I thought that was interesting.
To say it was an alien was completely whoa.
Yeah. No, and
They're
I
like, no, that's too extreme. No, it's too extreme. Weather balloon.
Yeah, right.
You just got
weather balloon and swamp
you got testimonials from just a lot of people that say otherwise, but we don't need to go back into this.
Yeah.
We're gonna lighten the show up a little bit, close with that, and say that you say yes, and I say maybe, and that is that.
And these guys don't care.
And
They're
these
just
guys
like,
don't care. They're just like, I'm a wolf and I'm a fox and we're chilling and cool. We're dudes.
yeah, the glasses mean.
The glass means
cool.
they're better. Should we keep the glasses for next time? Do you think these guys need glasses all the time?
We should get like different props. Like maybe one time we get like little hats,
Oh, that's genius.
stuff like that.
That's fucking genius.
Even if we have to like make it,
I can make
I can
it.
talk to Miles. You can make it. I can talk to Miles.
Good
make,
idea.
Like little hats.
Seriously, it'd be good. It'd be good. I like
Ooh,
that.
for Halloween, make like little Halloween costume or something.
Oh, that'd be good. But all right. Did you happen to? I know it was kind of short notice for me to ask you, but did you find anything funny online you've seen recently?
Not recently.
We're gonna lighten the show up with a little bit of humor.
Right.
A little bit of humor.
No, not recently. Like lately, I've just been watching X-Files and UFO documentaries.
That's
and
fine.
other stupid
Totally
bullshit.
understandable. That's what I do all the time. So
That and video games.
that and video games. I mostly Counter-Strike. I don't play a lot of games like you.
I
but-
play fucking. Lately, it's been Etrian Odyssey 4.
And how is that? What is that game about exactly?
That's it's an RPG. I don't know if you've ever heard of or played the like older Final Fantasies, like Final Fantasy 1. Yeah.
No, I didn't even have a system,
It's
so I couldn't.
I guess, but no, it's similar. It's similar to like the earlier Final Fantasies, which is pretty neat. So.
Okay, all right. It seems like an interesting RPG, but I'm not into RPGs. I've always been an FPS kid,
Fair
and a
enough.
racing kid, and a sports kid. So
See,
even though I'm not a jock,
I'll do
like-
the FPS, but racing.
Dude, I played Madden.
like,
dude. I
okay.
was a Madden kid.
Racing, I will do like in the arcades where you got like the fucking booth. and
Not
you
realistic
sit
enough,
down
though.
I guess, but it's still fun. It's fun. I like the experience.
I'd like Gran Turismo.
without spending $80.
I like Gran Turismo because it's realistic,
wheel
but at the same time, it's not really as fun as I would like. So that's why I play Need for Speed, because it's like some hybrid between realism and like arcade, and that's why.
And you just like the hot pursuit.
dude, I love Chase running from cops. Oh my god,
Fuck the popo.
fuck the po-po. Even though I'd totally be a cop, I fucking fursuit as a goddamn cop. But all right, nothing funny, nothing at all.
Not recently. Maybe next show I'll get something.
The best thing I saw recently.
It's good.
Oh man. The best thing I saw on the internet. This is. We had a little mild technical difficulty, but the best thing I saw, as of recently, I've signed up to OkCupid because I am a single wolf again. Ladies,
Single wolf.
shut up. Shut the fuck up, dude.
I'm sorry.
I got a boyfriend. Shut up. Alright, you know what? Okay, best thing I saw recently on OkCupid was hilarious. Because this is probably the best profile. Me and my buddy Ernick, if you saw the test show, it was literally us having fun and choosing the opposite match for us. So we picked Percentage Enemy as like the top choice, and she came up. Her name is literally, she lives within 1 mile of me apparently, but her name is literally Miss Lovin' Money. Miss Lovin' Money, who is 21, female, straight, and single from Milwaukee. Her self-summary includes a single sentence, which is entitled, "What y'all want to know now?" Sorry. What y'all want to now? Inbox me. All one sentence.
What do y'all want to know?
Inbox me.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. I don't know. What do you want to know?
What do you want to do now?
Now,
what do you want to know now?
It really depends. It really depends on the person what you want to know.
Well, that person, I would want to do terrible things right now. But
Okay.
not Miss Lovin' Money, I'm sorry.
What I'm doing with my life. This is what Miss Lovin' Money is doing with her life. Living it the way I want to and don't have to worry about drama.
You know, every time she says in, maybe she means and.
How do you confuse in with and? In worry about drama. I don't know. It just is not. I read it the correct way.
I know. I'm just saying.
All right.
It might make more sense as you go down. So
We're apparently the most opposite match we could possibly be. So I guess I should probably message her and
yeah,
she's really good at, ladies and gentlemen, fucking sucking. I'm good with my hands. Meeting people, I'm cued at everything I do. And by the way, in her profile image, she has 4 images in one image. Even though you can add
4 in 1.
No, like as if like she needed everything in one, which is hilarious. But what's funny about is saying cued is the Q is nowhere near the G. So how do you fuck up putting
could?
No,
is it could or
no?
Q?
It's
but it's OO, so it could be.
I'm
could.
meeting people I'm good at.
Cood.
How you cooed at everything you do? Are you cooed at everything you do?
I think I'm cooed at everything I do.
Well, she's fucking good at sucking.
And she's good with her hands.
That shit,
I am too.
That's just the most important
I
thing.
get a lot of practice.
All I know is that is the most, ladies, that is the most important thing in a relationship is fucking sucking.
A lot of practice. Because...
Not like intimacy or
dice.
like sharing, experiences and interest. It's fucking sucking. That's what you want out of a relationship. The first thing...
Hey, okay, no, in her defense, maybe some people are just after that.
Well, then they're obviously not after a long-term relationship. Maybe that's why we're so different.
That could be it. That's why. God damn it, that's what you've been doing wrong.
Well, she's Miss Lovin' Money. Obviously, she's a gold digger, so I will avoid that at all costs.
She's a gold digger.
The first things people usually notice about me are my boobs. I wonder how big they actually are.
Maybe she has nice, voluptuous tits.
She might, but it's irrelevant. Favorite books, movies, shows, music, and food. I listen to everything.
How do you listen to food? I don't get it.
Well,
I understand listening to books.
They make put a she cell up to your ear and listen to the ocean. It's like
do you do that with food? Do you just like
I have occasionally stick a slice.
Here, I can listen to Fox.
Fox News? I'm listening to Wolf Blitzer. You're listening to Fox News.
I'm not really good
nothing
at
of relevance.
Here.
No, nothing.
Darn.
I know. It should have been more relevant.
Like I just kind of want to like grab like a raw hamburger patty and just like slap it up against my face like.
Well, food.
Guys, I'm listening to my food. Yeah, I don't know.
I know what you
I might do that at work next time.
No, please don't. You'll scare the customers away. You will never have business at that place again.
I'm slightly okay with this.
The 6 things I could never do without. 1, phone. Not my phone.
Just phone.
2, money,
phone?
but that's capitalized in the M.
Money.
Sex?
Well, no, it has to be capitalized. She is Miss Lovin' Money.
Oh, right.
That's her name.
Phone, money, sex, internet. talking and in me.
In me.
I want to know what in me
No, like that's why I said. This is why I said I think in is supposed to be and me.
So she can never do it
Herself. She could never do without. I mean, I think that's a given. I don't think that's part of the 6 that you need.
What?
Well, how are without your body being here? How could you ever do without other things?
I think we were looking at someone's profile who had asked for 6 things and they listed 7, and that was way too funny too. That was also pretty good. Isn't as good as this one.
It's just no. This is pretty bad.
I spend a lot of time thinking about sex, money, clothes in my love of my life whenever he show up.
When WEN whenever he show up. But
I want a girl who's just into sex.
Like this is like all a run-on sentence, just like not even commas. It's like I spend a lot of time thinking about sex, money, clothes. Like, is that one
in
item?
my love of my life?
Sex,
when
money, clothes.
He show up. I don't know. Is that an object?
Sex, money, clothes inside the love of her life. Whenever he happens to be around.
I don't know what to make of that.
So sex, money, and clothes. Like, where does he keep? Is it just like shoved up his ass in his throat? Like, where do you put it all?
The most private thing I am willing to admit is I'm freaky. She's freaky.
You forgot the one before that, though.
Oh, I'll go back.
On a typical Friday night, I am
in the house bored. So she's obviously pretty okay.
You're bored?
No.
How can you be bored? She has the internet.
Right, I know, right, exactly.
And sex and money.
If I sent her Stumble Upon, we'd be soulmates. She would realize all the things she's missing in
You will never be bored on a Friday night again. No, but seriously, how can you be bored if the things you can't live without are sex and money? But this brings up a better question. If she's on OkCupid, she's already getting sex.
You think so?
Do you need that? Because she can't do without it.
Oh, well.
I mean, this is just maybe I'm not reading this correctly or interpreting it.
You should
correctly.
message me if you like what you see. Thanks.
If you like what you see, thanks.
Right. Run-on sentence, one word, no commas, nothing. You see things.
No punctuation at all,
nothing.
actually.
It's unneeded. You should understand.
Punctuation, proper spelling,
capitalization. It's random. It's whenever, you feel like it's art.
I want to make like a font type or a program where every time you type a letter, it randomizes if it's capital or lowercase.
No.
So it's just irritating. Oh, it would be the best.
In her details, there's like options of filling out, ethnicity, height, body type, diet, smokes, sign, education, everything. The only thing she filled out was drugs. Never. She wants to make it clear.
Never.
She never
do drugs. But I will not tell you about my diet because I like McDonald's way too much. And no one needs to know about this.
But she's too close to me not to message, so I think I'm going to have to take this up. I'm sorry. I need to know what Miss Love and Money's all about.
Miss Love and Money!
I'm going to guess money off the top of my head, but I'm not really sure.
I don't know either. This makes me want to make an OkCupid profile just to troll people.
Well, the best part was Ernick actually found an OkCupid profile that was like 70% compatible with him, but it was completely a joke. And he got a message from him. So it makes you think that this person created it as a joke to deter other people, but then she would message people that she was interested in. So I think that's a great way to go about it, because you will get rid of all the people that are... Like, you pick and choose then. And that's a genius way to do things, and I think that was a good idea.
Good idea.
It was a good idea. It was a good idea. But so you didn't find anything interesting on the internet that was funny in recent times?
No, like I said, not recently. Well, I'm sorry. That was kind of just thrown in there, so I didn't know.
I threw it. Last minute, it was my fault. I was just kind of like, hey, something funny to lighten up the end of these serious topics, but I
think Miss Love and Money takes the cake.
Oh, yeah, that was the best thing I found within the last week.
That was good.
I mean, there's a lot of Craigslist ads I found that are humorous, but man, this was like the best thing I think I could have found within recent history.
Maybe we should just add this to the show, like just shitty profiles on OkCupid.
You'll eventually run out. There's no way we could ever keep that.
Well, no, you just have it for like maybe this season, just one season,
It's a lot of episodes.
and then we'll have another. Well, maybe do it every other.
I'd hope, but I don't know, man.
I'm sure I
Good
could
though.
find some pretty good
I'm
ones.
sure you could. That was by far the best, though. I don't think I've seen such a good one. I was literally, last time when I read that, I was in tears. Seriously, it was
great.
too funny. I could not stop laughing. But, ladies, gentlemen, furries, furfangs, thank you for joining us tonight. Kilroy, McKenna, Beretta, Darkwolf, Red Dog, the Wolf and the Fox. Congratulations on us for having another season. I know
Season 2.
I'm very proud of this. So we thank you for watching. If you stay with us this long, we appreciate it.
Why?
And keep watching. Don't ask why.
Why?
Keep watching. We will keep being as entertaining as possible. As candidly possible.
Impossible. You jokester.
Thank you and good night, everyone. We appreciate it.
Bye now.
Bye-bye now.
Fuck. I said what? In the butt.
You're in the butt.
I said what?
Oh. Motherfucker. Give me your can. Give me your can.
Not done yet.
We'll fucking finish it, ass face. Alrighty. Excellent-tastic. Garbage.
Fox humping the microphone. Yeah.